Hey guys, you're watching one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Theme Park. Today, we're going to be building another experimental minigame. A minigame that I've thought of. I can foresee some problems. I already know that there's going to be some problems, but hopefully we might be able to figure a way how to get over them. And if I can't, maybe you guys have an idea. We're going to build this next to our Donkey Kong-y inspired minigame here. And the idea is items rain down from the sky, okay, out of dispensers. So chugga 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 chugga, they all rain down, and you have to run round and collect them up. Now you can play it on your own, or you can play it with someone else. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to be standing on hoppers, so any items that you miss and you don't catch as they fall down don't just lay on the ground ready for you to pick them up. They go into hoppers and disappear, okay? Now, we're going to have two items. Let's say, for example, diamonds. If you pick up a diamond, you get a point. However, they're also going to be chucking out rotten flesh, which is going to be minus a point. So, let's say you get 15 diamonds and 13 rotten flesh. Overall, when the timer runs out, however long timer we're going to have on it, you'll get 2 points, because 15 minus 13 is 2. However, if you get 15 diamonds and no rotten flesh, you'll get 15 points. However, there's a few problems that I can foresee. Obviously, all the items that get picked up by the hoppers on the floor are going to get transported up via probably an item elevator that we'll build momentarily into the droppers or dispensers, whatever, that are going to be at the top to then rain the items back down again. But if they're all going up one item elevator, they're all going to get clogged up. Or they're all going to go into the first dispenser. Now, if we fill all of the dispensers to the brim, that won't matter. That's the only way that we can get around it, I think. Let me think about this. If they one fired out, yeah, into that one. No, that should work. As long as we fill all of the dispensers up as far as they'll go, we should be able to filter it. It should work. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to grab some hoppers first. Hoppers. And just a block to point our first hopper into. One of the problems... I got an itchy shoulder. One of the problems is that an item elevator, at least on console, I don't know about any other I don't know about PlayStation, I expect it's the same, and I don't know about PC, but on console, item elevators can only work when they face north, which is that way. They don't work in any other direction. I don't know why. There must be some reason behind it. I'm just not quite sure. So we need one hopper. I suppose that can be facing downwards. One hopper here, which all of the other hoppers are going to filter into. Now, I probably want a nice large area, so I think I'm going to go for a 6x6 area. I do need to crouch click for these. A 6x6 area. If we went with an area that was too small, you're going to end up picking up every single item. If it's a rotten flesh or a diamond, you're just going to pick it up. And if you have an area too big, then you're going to miss a lot of them. So I think maybe a 6x6 is good. We do have space to enlarge it if we need to. All of these are now pointing into this hopper. So if I chuck anything in any one of these, it's always going to end up in here. Perfect. Okay, item elevator time. These aren't that difficult to build. You're going to need some ice. You're going to need some glass or a... transparent block. Transparent doesn't mean see-through, it means light can pass through it, so such as slabs or stairs and stuff like that. I'm going to use glass. You can change it to stained glass if you want. You're going to need a fence. We're going to need a normal block just to go in the ground at a certain point, and you're going to need a dropper, and we'll work out a way to activate it properly afterwards, but for now we'll just use a lever. So underneath this hopper we're going to place a dropper facing out towards us, okay? The item elevator needs to face north, so you're going to poke out 3 holes in the ground, okay? And then go 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 north. It is very important that this item elevator has a corner in it. If it doesn't have a corner in it, and you just like, let's say you had the dispenser here, and you just faced it north, through my testing, I might be wrong, through my testing, it ends up hitting the fence either too fast, meaning it won't go up the elevator, or it hits the fence too directly and it doesn't work. This corner makes the items run down this side of the wall of the block instead of down the middle. Just through my testing, okay, it's the most efficient way to do it. You're going to have one block of solid block, or like any block that isn't ice, for example, and then you're going to have ice here. The ice is here just to purely speed up the blocks transferring through. If you had, it would work with normal blocks, or it should work with normal blocks. The ice just makes it run quicker. That's all it is. So that's going to be our 8 blocks. That means that the water doesn't run any further. The block after the water finishes is going to be ice. The block after that is going to be a solid block. You're going to place 2 fences on top of that. You're going to place a block of glass here and here. You're then going to plot glass on top in a cross fashion. And then you can make the item elevator as tall as you want. I really hope this works. There and there. It's facing north. I can't see why it wouldn't work. And now if I pop a lever down, I'll just stick an item in there. When I fire it out, it goes down the side. It bounced. Why did it bounce? I don't understand this. These are so temperamental. It's ridiculous. What if we put those there? They're so temperamental. It's so annoying. No, it bounced. I think it's got to be on that side. Hold on. Let's block that off. And we'll do it here instead. I'm just going to flip it round. And then put an item in there. Oops. No! That bounced as well. Oh! No, that bounced as well. Why did that... Oh, it did. It did go up the top. Hold on. It worked that time. Let's try it again. Okay. And up it goes. Wonderful. Okay, so then let's switch it round. Put an item in there. Fire it out. And it bounced. I'm going to try it once more. No, it bounced. But it works that way. There's no difference apart from it's the other side. Okay, well, nothing we can do about it. We'll just have to work with what it wants. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. This hopper is going to face into that one instead. We'll place dirt under there. You can all be gotten rid of now. I don't know why. I have no idea why. We'll just do it on the front instead. The only reason why I wanted it on the back here was so it couldn't really be seen when you first see the ride. But if there's nothing we can do about it... If there's nothing we can do about it, then there's nothing we can do about it. We'll just have to have this hopper as the sort of master hopper. Oh no, we need to change all of these around, don't we? Yeah. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, we'll just flip these around. They would eventually get to where we wanted them, but it's just going to be easier. Like this. 3. That's 4 by 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 5. And that's 6. Okay, so they're all pointing into this one now. And then below, 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put ice below here. 1 block like that. Put the water in. This one has to be ice. This one has to be a full block. Fence and fence. Grab the glass back again. There, there. A cross on top. And then like this. I'm not going to make this too high, just in case it doesn't work. Like this. And like this. Now, will you work? We're facing it the right way. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Oh, get that back. Okay, perfect. It works. I just didn't want it facing the front, but if there's nothing we can do about it, then there's nothing we can do about it. Now, what we want is we want this to activate whenever an item comes in, but a clock won't work, I don't think. We're going to have to do something with the comparator. So, let's get rid of our inventory. Let's get some redstone stuff. We're going to have a comparator here. This is going to read whenever an item is in the dropper. Then we're going to need, let's say, a block and a repeater. A repeater there. And then redstone joining those up. So now it fires it out. Oh, I was going to say, that glitched then. Okay, that torch bounced. Did you see that? That torch didn't go up. Oh, that's really annoying. What if I put a stack of something? Or not, maybe not a stack. Oops. I want to just half this down a little bit. If I put 16 in. I think they do go up. I think just visually they're not. Okay, that one actually did go up the top though. That's no problem. We can fix that problem by just putting a block there, for example. We can tidy that up at the end. But that's all the redstone that we're going to need to make sure this always fires whenever something goes in. There are other ways to hook this up to fire, but a lot of them, I've found out, will fire the first time, but won't recognize that it needs to fire again until there's no more items. So it's very important that you have that. Now, we want walls. Let's go with... I'm half tempted to do our colour scheme of purple, white and pink on the inside. No, let's go with, I don't know, a yellow, no, we want diamond colours. So like a blue and then a zombie colour of like brown and then white. And we'll sort of divide it up. So let's have blue at the bottom. We'll put a ring of this around. Let's get a splash potion to speed us up a little bit. So blue is represent the diamonds. The brown is going to represent the zombie flesh. Sort of coloured to the theme then, isn't it? And then we'll have white between it. Just as a nice clean block. We will need a door to get in here as well. They're like little details we don't need to worry about. And this doesn't need to be insanely high. There's no reason for it to be really high. I'm going to do it like maybe 1 or 2 blocks higher though. I think. Like that. And then maybe a brown one on the top. Like that. That looks about high enough. We'll put a door in. I'll just put a door in here for the moment. We can cover... Oh, yeah, that should actually just solve the problem of them bouncing out. Is by putting blocks on top, right? And then they can't bounce out then, can they? And it should all still work. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we can make this look aesthetically pleasing afterwards. We can put a nice staircase or something to get up there. Now we need some droppers facing downwards. So, along here. Now, crouch click. Or I can reach. Phew for that, otherwise that would have been really difficult. So I want to have 36 droppers above, and items are going to come out of every single one of them? Oh no, we can't do that. Oh no, I've thought of a problem. How will we wire it? Oh no. I suppose we could have dummy ones? Dummy droppers? So people don't stand under the ones that fire out? Yeah, the problem is, right, is we need hoppers above these to filter out. How do we get them to go across? Like, if I wanted them to... Do I have them like this? Can they still go down? Like, if I put that in there, where does it go? It goes into there. How am I going to get it down into that one? Like, if I place that down, and I put that in there, that ends up in here. But then how do I get them down into this one as well? Let's do some testing. Bedrock. Fill that up. Grab some hoppers. I know there's a way to do it. It gets stuck in that one. I need it to then go to that one. Hold on, I'll have a look on the redstone world. I have something on the redstone world that will help. I'll be back. Okay, I loaded up the world again. From what I can tell, you just put hoppers on hoppers. It's like a really Neanderthal way. But it's like the hoppers suck the stuff out of the hoppers. So if you do it like that, if I put an item in here, it should end up in here. But it can't, so it should end up in there. Right? No, it's going to end up in there, isn't it? But then once all those are full... Okay. Take those out. If these were all full, it would then go into this one, right? Yes. Did I put a full... Oh, I put a stack in there. Okay, perfect. That'll work. I just need to make sure everything is all filled up. However, the problem is if we could easily do this now so that all the hoppers or all these droppers could be full of items. But we can only activate the ones around the outside, because there's going to be no way to activate these center ones if there's hoppers there. So what do we do? If I put an item in here, that's in that one. I'm going to put a block on top of that so I know. So there's an item in that one. If I get a repeater and I put that there and I power it, will it fire the one through that repeater? It did. It should. We should see it coming up here. Aha. Okay, well that means that we can do all of the second in. We can't do this middle. But if we made it into a 4x4 square, we'll be able to do it, right? A 4x4, is that big enough? What else? How else would we get round this? I don't think we can. No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave it a 6x6, but we're going to make these middle blocks into just solid blocks. So we'll just use brown clay instead. My voice. Done a lot of recording today. There we go. We can fire all of those now. In fact, we could make that into glowstone. And it gives us light on the inside here, doesn't it? There we go. Okay. So that's good. That's good. We can now get all of these to work. I just got to crouch click on every single one of these. All straight down. I might do a spiral for the hopper filler up technique. Hopper filler up a technique. So then it would be that one. No, it would be that one. Would be the last one's there, isn't it? No, the last one's there. I got it. I'm figuring it out. And then we need to spiral this out. I say I haven't planned out this mini game. I maybe should have, but I like to work these things out with you guys. Now we have this spiral all the way, and now once all of the hoppers are filled up, it'll all just filter down into all of the droppers below. This is going to take us maybe a couple of episodes to figure out completely how everything's going to work. Like that. And then we can replace... We can place repeaters down around all of these edges. In fact, we don't need that one. Go down there. And down there. We then need a block. Might as well use the brown. Around the side here. To activate all of them. And then this should activate every single one of those droppers below us. Let's get rid of all the stuff out of these. That's going to filter some through. You're in there. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Is there anything more? There shouldn't be, right? Because it's all just going to filter down into that one if we had any. No, wonderful. Okay, get rid of all that. Redstone. Around the side. Interesting start to this prototype. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. We have redstone around all of there. And then we're going to want a clock. But we want this clock to be on a timer. So we want this to fire out quickly. We want it to fire out nearly as quickly as they'll allow, as the game will allow us to fire stuff out with. We'll hide the clock around the back. Or maybe we can put the redstone all on this side. We need glass. We need the way from the item elevator to then get into that top hopper. Should be easy by placing hoppers from here to there. Right? And then anything that should just filter back through into the system now. As long as... No, it should do. I can't see why it wouldn't. So, redstone now. Let's grab back. I'm going to grab around just so it all matches in. And we're just going to work out a last final bit of redstone before we end off the episode. Because we've been going for a little while here. We need this to run as fast as possible. So let's grab a load of different blocks. But we want it to be on a timer. Comparator with a cauldron would probably be the best for that then. I got rid of the redstone. If we have a cauldron filled with water, the comparator will always be on. We can then have like a block, a repeater, and then place this back into there. That makes a clock, which we can turn on and off super easily by placing a lever on here. So if we had... And then we can turn it off. And then we can turn it back on. And that should... Let's put bedrock in. We should start seeing them coming up soon. It's going to be crazy. The lag is going to be so intense on this. Oh, they're not going... How are they not going in? Okay, that went in. That didn't. Come on. There we go. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. That should always go into the hoppers now. So it should always cycle around, but they're going into this one. So we can then hook that noise. Hook that up. That up. Why is it stopped? Why has that stopped? Why is the repeater off? Why are they... Oh, I see. We've got a redstone lock. Okay. Yeah, I can fix that. We'll go around this side. There we go. So now all of them are running, right? Oh, we need a repeater in to just boost the signal a little bit. Okay. We should start seeing them coming back round in a minute. Wonderful. Okay, it's working. And once we fill up all of these, everything, we need to fill up every single hopper and every single dropper. There'll be a constant flow out of every single dropper, constantly. That's going to be so cool. Okay, that's getting on my nerves. Let's turn that off. And we're going to leave it there for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode where we shall be finishing off our ride. They should all end up in here, should they? No, they're not. They're going around somewhere. Oh, they're probably going to the middle? To the end one? I don't know. I'll find them. Okay, bye!